So yes, I am still telling my clients they need to file with FinCEN, the CTA BOI filing. First of all, it's not a big deal. It's not a conspiracy. Why am I talking about this? Well, basically, recent hot news that the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Texas issued a nationwide preliminary injunction in a case basically concluding that the Corporate Transparency Act, CTA, exceeds the U.S. Constitution's limits on Congress's power. So, based on that conclusion and other reasoning, the court blocked the U.S. Department of Treasury and FinCEN from enforcing the CTA and the BOA reporting requirements. So, what's key here is this. This video is for the small business owner that maybe doesn't know what I'm talking about because they haven't heard about it. So I'm going to give you a link so you know what you need to do. The other part is that the second audience this is geared towards is those that are like me and you're a tax practitioner and you're in a small office. A couple of things to note is that this is talking about that the enforcement is not constitutional. So if you're an attorney or you're somebody that is well versed in this, you can move on to the next video. Not going to argue with you because this isn't for you. You as a small business owner, there's no reason for you to get into any crosshairs in the sense of having penalties by just saying, well, I'm not going to file this. Until FinCEN says you don't need to file, or in my opinion, Congress or whoever that's much larger than, and I get it, they're a U.S. District Court in Eastern Texas, all that good stuff. It's a federal judge, very, very powerful. I get it. But here's the deal. We're talking about enforcement. Here's the thing. This filing and small business owners, the tax practitioners that are small practitioners like me, here's the deal. The penalty, $591 a day, is all they're really probably talking about here and in the enforcement. So why are we even spending time arguing on whether or not you should file or not file, or it's unconstitutional or it's a conspiracy? I don't have time for people that have conspiracy theories. This isn't a conspiracy theory. The bottom line is this. You're going to register yourself if you want a FinCEN number with your driver's license, your address, your social, a little bit of info. You're done. It's that simple. 5 minutes. You're done. Secondly, for a business, okay, you're a small business owner. You're done in 5 minutes. There's no way you're not. It's your name of your business, your address, your EIN, who's the owner. Who's an owner? You know who an owner is. Most of you that are listening to this, you're a one owner, you're a two owner. Do I have to do it? Yes, you have to do it. Until FinCEN comes out, until FinCEN says you don't need to file this anymore, then you need to file it. So the key here is that this is due December 31st. If you have an entity that's been set up before 1/1/24. You should have already done it. You need to do it. You don't want to sit around and wait wondering if you need to do something because you're going to spend more time reading it. You've already spent more time listening to this video than it would take for you to actually file with FinCEN. What do you have to hide? I'm not understanding what the big deal is. I've told my clients you just need to do it. Why are we going to sit around and talk about it and the whys, and do I have to file for this and do I have to file for that? And just file it. Small tax practitioners like myself, I'm so glad that you made it to here. Do not find yourself for 1 second giving your client an opinion about this. Why? Because this is not in our purview. This has nothing to do with the IRS, has nothing to do with taxes. Filing a tax return, this is not a part of our scope of services. It's probably not covered in your engagement letter. This is not something that you should be telling your client they don't need to do. What I'm telling my clients is I'm not an attorney. You want to consult an attorney to find out if you shouldn't file something, it's going to take you 5 minutes and you want to spend money with an attorney for whatever, great, then go do it. I'm not an attorney. This is actually interpreting law on whether or not you should file or not file. So when a governmental agency, FinCEN, says you need to file something, and this is a Transparency Act passed by Congress, FinCEN has said for a long time how they want us to file. There was plenty of time for people to go and argue this and take it to court. I get it that it's finally now in decisions. I'm not disagreeing with the decision. I'm not disagreeing with anybody. All I'm saying is this. And when it's not the case, you won't even be able to find this video. FinCEN saying you need to file something and that there is a penalty, then you need to do it. Just do it. But if you don't want to do it, then that's your prerogative. It doesn't make any sense to me why anybody would spend more than 35 seconds on trying to figure out if they would file, given that 35 seconds times maybe 10, you've already done the filing. The second part is, again, small practitioners, you need to really understand you're providing a situation of future liability by commenting and telling your clients they don't need to do something when you have zero expertise in this area. It is not what you're supposed to be advising on. If you're helping your client, great. New Jersey, the Supreme Court, indicated that you helping your client file BOI, if it's complicated, is considered unauthorized legal services that should only be done by an attorney. Okay, so you're not in Jersey. I'm not in Jersey either. But what I'm telling you is I have helped some of my clients, but only the very easy, straightforward ones. That Supreme Court in Jersey said if it's simple and it's easy, CPAs, okay, they can do it. They're not at risk of providing legal services to lose their license. But if it's complicated, that's legal service altogether. Every aspect of this is a legal service. It is legal advice. If it is complicated, they said, then it's unauthorized. That's in Jersey, but I'm taking that to heart. So with my clients that have any kind of complication, we've got them to an attorney. The ones that are one owner with one entity, hey, we'll help you file. But for most of my clients, they filed themselves. And so we've already had a couple of clients that said they were going to file themselves and said, hey, I just saw this, that it's unconstitutional. And I said, well, it's unconstitutional in terms of enforcement. Until the website is taken down, until absolutely it is clear that you shouldn't file, then you just need to stop arguing, stop wondering, stop fretting, stop making up excuses and conspiracy theories that are just a bunch of hoopla, and go and do it, because there's no harm, no foul providing some info that, quite frankly, they already have. So, am I a proponent of filing, or am I saying it's a burden on small businesses or whatever? None of that matters. We have a requirement. It's being asked to be done, so do it. When the website's down and you can't find where to file at FinCEN, and FinCEN has said you don't need to file, then guess what? You can't, so you don't have to, because you can't. Up until that point, why aren't you already having this done? Why are you finding yourself arguing about it? Why is it that you're now leaving a comment to tell me this or tell me that? No help is being provided by saying you don't need to do something. You wait until FinCEN says it. So file for it. Small tax practitioners, I'm saying it for the third time. Do not find yourself telling clients not to file for this. It has no jurisdiction in what we do. And we bring all kinds of liability when we tell somebody they don't have to do something. You can say, read it for yourself. All we can say is that there is a requirement. You need to file it. You need to get it done. If you don't want to do it, then that's on you. End of story. So again, you won't find this video if this has absolutely, concretely been done away with. And maybe it will ultimately, but I felt compelled to come and leave a little bit of information, especially for those that are going, well, should I or shouldn't I? You should. Do it. But what if they do away with it in 2 weeks? Okay, what are we doing here, right? I think you've heard my point. All right, hey, with that, check this out. With this kind of a thing right now, I already put together a video. In short, I've got a tax consulting group. I've already briefed them on this, already given them my opinions. I've given them links to information. So if you're looking for somebody that can provide information to you and help you with your questions, because when you look this way and when you look that way, there's nobody sitting at your boardroom. If you're a small tax practitioner like me and you go, wow, I had a question for this and I have a question for that, but I don't have anybody to ask, check out my tax consulting group, link below. All right, hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you'd subscribe. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. You have a great one.